The Democrats are in crisis. Their great hope, Kamala Harris, is falling apart just weeks out from the election, showcasing more word salads every time she's forced to speak without a script. And it's not only Kamala Harris who is struggling. Her predecessor and current US President Joe Biden is hanging on by a thread, as he is largely MIA and struggles to get through a single press briefing. VP pick Tim Walz is also getting blasted every time he opens his mouth. And whilst the Democrats are spiralling, Donald Trump is thriving. The former president made a statement by returning to the scene of his first assassination attempt, looking and sounding stronger than ever. Sky News All-Stars James Morrow and Rita Panahi take a look at Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's worrying word salads, Joe Biden's continued decline, and Donald Trump's resurgence. The new wave of hope for the Democrats is fading with every new interview and appearance. Kamala Harris simply cannot function without a script, reveals Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi.
And it's been rough for Kamala too, particularly yesterday when it appeared that her teleprompter malfunctioned for just a few seconds and, wowie, she did not handle it well.
Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days. And we know we will do it.
Oh, she's so uniquely hopeless.
And again, this fresh interview shows Kamala Harris doesn't have a clue about current events in the Middle East.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
And even with a working teleprompter, Kamala Harris struggled to get through a statement after Iran's attack on Israel, reveals Sky News All-Star Erin Molan.
Destroyed. Kamala Harris this week was forced to fill in for Joe after Iran's attack, and boy, did she seem strained.
We are still assessing the impact, but initial indications are that Israel, with our assistance, was able to defeat this attack. Our joint defenses have been effective, and this operation and successful cooperation saved many innocent lives.
It reminds me of a child being forced to apologise to their sibling. Like they couldn't even trust her to go off script. There was not one part of that that felt genuine or authentic.
And Erin Molan doubled down, blasting the presidential nominee for her lackluster Jewish New Year message.
And how about her Jewish New Year's message? We're sending warm wishes to all those celebrating Rosh Hashanah. After such a difficult year, may this new one bring you hope for the future. Difficult. Now that's the understatement of the century.
Kamala Harris's unravelling isn't helped by the fact that her VP pick isn't much better. Tim Walz was obliterated by JD Vance during the vice presidential debate last week and has since gone on to struggle in interviews when fact-checked.
The vice president has made it clear that she has policies that make a difference. Her border policies are the most strongest, the fairest we've seen. It's
but
the
now,
bill
Governor,
that was,
you know a lot of
crafted.
people, including your own party, would not join that statement. There are millions of people who have come here over the last few years that, they see this as an open policies, border.
Well, simply, we have a policy. Donald Trump sees it as a political. Look, James Langford in Oklahoma, the Border Patrol agents, the Wall Street Journal, the Chamber of Commerce, all said pass this legislation. You have to have Congress to authorize 1,500 new border agents. You have to have Congress to authorize DOJ to speed adjudications on these asylum claims. Those are things that would actually work. Donald Trump told us for 4 years he would deal with this. He didn't. He didn't build his wall, 2%. Mexico didn't pay for it. This is a real bill that has bipartisan support, it has the experts on board, and it starts to tackle these issues. And we don't have to resort to demonizing people. We don't have to resort to making up or crafting stories, as Senator Vance said he did. Those things were not happening in Springfield, but it doesn't mean that we can't pass a piece of legislation to strengthen our border. That's what Kamala Harris is talking about.
Well,
She's talking
Governor,
about solving the problem.
That piece of legislation does include the wall that you guys have been so, you've disparaged that. I mean, the vice president has as well. So I don't know if she really intends to move forward with that. But it was negotiated by 3 or 4 senators, and many Republicans came out against it long before President Trump indicated he didn't like it either.
And to top off the Democrat demise, the current US President Joe Biden is looking and sounding worse than ever. He's largely MIA, and when he does make an appearance, he still manages to make a fool of himself, reveals Sky News All-Star James Morrow.
Little more than 24 hours ago, Joe Biden did something he had never done before over the entire course of his presidency. He showed up in the White House press briefing room to talk to the media. And guess what he did once he got there? He comprehensively threw Kamala Harris under the bus. Now, as you watch this, remember, Kamala Harris's biggest task has been to craft herself as the change candidate and distance herself from the past 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration.
There have obviously been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days, with the hurricane, with the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
You see what he did there? He drove the whole bus thump, thump right over her, and then beep, 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 right back over her again, thunk. Kamala's been, right there with him every step of the way. But oh wait, it turns out that there's more that Biden pulled this stunt just as Harris was about to make a major address about a port strike, thus completely overshadowing her.
Joe Biden again showed his rapid cognitive decline after these strange comments following Hurricane Helene.
I know that this is going to come as a bit of a shock, a bit of a surprise to everybody in this room, but I'm going to throw a name out there. Joe Biden. Remember him? Turns out he is still the President of the United States, not Kamala Harris. The only thing is, though, I'm not sure that he necessarily remembers that he is still President of the United States. Here he is outside the White House being asked about the devastating floods in North Carolina, where possibly hundreds have died and thousands remain stranded. And so far, all the government has promised victims is a check for $750.
What do the states of the storm zone need, Mr. President?
Okay.
What do the states of the storm zone, what do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about. They're getting everything they need. They're very happy across the board.
Yeah, not a great look there.
And even the leftist media can't deny it anymore. Saturday Night Live mocked Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in a hilarious skit.
Now, this is a miracle. There's actually a funny skit from Saturday Night Live. Get ready to laugh.
Listen up, everyone. We couldn't have gotten here without one man, and his name is Joe Biden. Get on out here, Joe Biden.
That's right. A lot of people forget I'm president, including me. But guess what? And by the way, I'm being serious right now. Come on. And guess what? And by the way, the fact of the matter is, the rich don't pay their fair share.
And whilst Kamala Harris, Tim Walz and Joe Biden are imploding, Donald Trump is thriving. The former president showed incredible strength and attended a packed rally at the site of his first assassination attempt just months ago.
I think it's absolutely a genius move for him to go there because the media has tried to memory hole this assassination attempt, both assassination attempts, but that one obviously where he actually got hit in the ear and like you said, it was millimeters between that and catastrophic results. So he's gone back there. He's going to put what happened back on the agenda. They've tried to memory hole it and they're not going to allow that. So I do actually genuinely fear for him.
Why
They've
not?
had 2 attempts in 2 months. He's been remarkably lucky both times. How much longer can that luck hold? And
This is the
if
problem, though.
something
They've
terrible
normalized, the left and the media now have normalized this sort of political violence, even as much as they decry it. The fact that they've let this go into that memory hole suggests that, oh, well, that's just a normal part of life in America now.
And not just
that's
that,
sinister.
And they've not backed away from the reckless rhetoric one bit. In fact, they've doubled down with this notion that Trump is a threat to democracy, is a threat to the republic. And they are inciting the next lunatic to have another shot. It really is, I think, a very dangerous period for the US and for the world.
And I'd just like to say there is an Aussies for Trump Facebook page, which someone set up. Go onto that. We need lots of Aussie support for Trump there. He needs to feel the love from Australia because it's certainly there.